Meeussen versus Stijn Gogaert. We've seen Stijn play already. He is on the Sphinx's tutelage Rise from the Tides deck. It's a hybrid between the two different ones. And Lars is on... What is Lars on?
Lars is, I think, on blue-white tempo.
Blue-white... it's not Macklin, I'm confusing him. Yeah, it's Saint Niklaas, right? Yeah, Saint Niklaas.
Not the first time you made a confusion today.
Yeah, I don't know why that's so stuck in my mind. So in case this match finishes quickly and we have some time left on the other match, we will move them onto the camera, but now we will get into this match. Both players have their opening sevens.
We know.
And Stijn starts with a Throbbing Inspector. Okay. Oh, apparently we have the names backwards. It's actually not me that has them backwards, of course, but the players that are sitting in the wrong spot. Let's quickly switch that.
Right.
There we go.
So Lars having a great opening of turn 1 Throbbing Inspector. Always nice. Or was it turn 2?
Turn 1 Throbbing Inspector, yes.
Okay. Wait, but why is there an Evolving Lights in the graveyard?
Because this is turn 3.
Ah, okay. Okay, I can see it now. So he has the Sky Spawner in hand. Another Throbbing Inspector. I think you want to go for the Throbbing, yeah. That's what I would have done. Since the Sky Spawner opens you up to a lot of stands, multi-target removal like Twin Bolt.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure Stijn is playing that main deck.
Is Twin Bolt still played when you have dual shot available?
What does dual shot do?
It's 1 damage to 2 targets.
Instead of 2 damage divided over.
Yes. And can't hit players.
Yeah. But it's a mana loss, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah. No, then I don't think Twin Bolt will play it. Although being able to do 2 damage is also pretty nice.
Yep.
I don't know, I would probably go for Twin Bolt, but you know. There's a reason you never see me play whenever there's a top 8 going on.
I didn't say it.
So
I never realized how pissed off the Inspector looks. Like he's...
Oh, yeah.
It's quite
like
disgusting.
Disgusted, yeah. It's like
this disgusting peasant I am playing for.
It's like there's feces under his nose. That's the face he's pulling. Like
Feces.
there's a Sky Spawner.
You can say shit on the stream. It's okay.
But I wanted to elevate the level of conversation here.
You don't want to call...
I want to elevate the level of the conversation.
You also want to call the poop the poop?
Is that the... That is a Savage Alliance, isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, that's Savage Alliance. So probably destroying a creature and 1 damage to each creature. Yeah, that's...
Savage Alliance...
That's a blowout.
Is probably one of the most impactful cards that came out of Eldritch Moon. Red was...
Like most of the alliances are pretty impactful.
Yes. Red was very bad before Eldritch Moon hit. I'm actually surprised that we haven't
seen Thermal Thing. Yeah. Thermal Alchemist is a pretty good card, but I don't think the people who play Gentry here are into that kind of deck. At least most of them.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, you also have a bit of a lack of good aggro creatures to make the pump spells good enough, or burn spells to make...
If Swiss Spear was still in the format, it would have been great.
Yeah.
But just the Storm Chaser Mage just isn't enough. Whirler Rogue, on the other hand, is pretty good.
Yeah. But
Tutelage is pretty
Stijn
good also.
answers with his own...
Tutelage into take inventory. Alright. Pretty okay.
So we have Sphinx's Tutelage.
Mill 2.
And take inventory.
And then there's an Anticipate and a Sky Spawner go to the graveyard. Which don't share a color because devoid.
Lame.
Yeah. You know what's lame? Sphinx Tutelage has non-land permanent.
Thank God.
Non-land card. Why? Why thank God? Lands don't even have a color.
Yeah.
So they can't share a color.
No.
But if it said...
But it would confuse people.
But I would be able to play Painter Servant and
No.
Why not?
Because they hate the fact that this combo is in Legacy, so they don't want it in the Modern.
But no Painter Servant. How am I ever going to play my Kaladesh Invention Painter Servant now?
You said but 4 times.
I like
your point of being sophisticated and saying feces instead of poop has been rendered moot.
But
you did it again.
But I mean, achterom de rest was gewoon butthole. Alright, so
Sander wanted to show me his butthole, but instead I get Tetris. That's interesting.
Ik heb wat je frieten halen. Moet je het ik ga naar frituur.
Kleintje en een bikkie.
Kleintjes ook net zoals Bikkie allemaal.
Zo, kleintje stoofsters.
Als je wilt, schrijf het je op.
Okay, so back to the game.
So Tutelage.
Angelic Purge
gone.
took care of the Tutelage.
We moesten er zo in.
Sus?
Kies maar. Doe mazot. So Angelic Purge took
takes care of
the
Tutelage.
Tutelage.
So that's pretty bad. Pretty bad for Stijn, I mean. Not that I'm rooting specifically for Stijn. It's pretty bad for him. Lars, on the other hand, pretty good position.
Yeah.
2 Topters.
So 2 turn clock.
Yeah.
Stijn's deck is quite full of burn. I see at least one spell.
An impulse, there it is.
Already.
It's going to take care of the Whirler Rogue, unless, of course, Lars wants to interact, but he chooses not to. Or can't.
Lars doesn't have that much to interact with him in game 1.
Mm-hmm. I assumed. So he swings in for 3. So it's 4 turn clock now. It's a bit more manageable for Stijn. The problem for Stijn is that he's not even close to winning either through another Tutelage or through Rise from the Tides. So this is looking pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, the Rise from the Tides still doesn't survive the top turns.
Yeah.
It's only 1 turn extra.
Yeah.
Well, not even, because they come into play tapped.
Yeah.
And then the Inspector gets
So it gives
1 damage.
a single turn, yeah. And there's a Reflector Mage, so it's not even a turn. Alright, so Stijn is gonna need Chandra. Exactly.
Oh my!
That's exactly
So
what he needed.
I think he's 3 for 3 now.
Yeah, at least on coverage, he is.
Yeah. This Chandra likes the camera.
Yeah, I mean, of course Chandra likes the camera. Like, flavor-wise,
She's a hot babe. She should be on camera. I should be on camera. Let's turn this in. I'm a hot babe as well. Are you still on camera? You're still in the screen. That's
fine.
okay.
It's fine. I don't mind being half out of picture.
Oh, in that case.
Alright, so Lars untapping. So what does Lars have that can cleanly get rid of Chandra? Well, there's a Whirler Rogue in hand, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, Whirler Rogue does the trick. Chandra is on only 1.
Yeah, so Chandra can't wipe his board again. He could, however, go draw a card, tutelage, play
He
Chandra
could,
0, play
he could
a
have
lot of
another
card draw,
Savage
yeah.
Alliance.
That would be absolutely savage.
Yes. It's one of the few cards that straight up answers a Whirler
Yeah.
Rogue.
So there's a Tormenting Voice, so no shenanigans with tutelage here. But he is getting some stuff in his graveyard for potential rise.
He
He
also
wants
has
to
the
fire impulse.
0 of Chandra to draw him
Yeah. A new
some
hand.
more cards. I don't think Fiery Impulse is enough.
No.
I think I would 0 here.
Before, yeah. Does Savage Alliance require 2 red? I think so, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, then I think just zeroing is right. Oh wow, he's gonna go for the -1, clearing off the top throws. And
I
probably impulse.
don't
order.
like
yeah,
this.
I don't agree with that line of play either.
He clears the table, but
He clears the table, which is pretty much what his deck needs because he's nowhere close to winning. But it's like Chandra could have won you the game by just zeroing. Fire Impulse, 3 damage, kills the Whirler Rogue. It's fine. Lars doesn't have a follow-up play, it seems, so that's good. That's good for Stijn. And the rise
Oh.
for 5, 6. That's hard. Like I don't think Lars has any real answer to
no.
6 or 7 zombies. It's only 5. Still, it's a 2-turn clock from Stijn here.
He has a Blessed Alliance and an Angelic Purge.
Yeah. So not bad, but not cards you want to play when there's 5 zombies attacking you. Not what you want to see. Ideally, you'd play Reflector Mage.
Yeah. Killing a token, having
Yeah.
a blocker. Be pretty huge.
That's it.
Even a Whirler Rogue,
Yeah,
like getting
Whirler Rogue
rid
would
of
be good.
2 of them.
Just put yourself in a safe spot.
Now he is
Lars is going
forced to
to-
trade horribly.
Yeah, this is bad.
Well, he doesn't really have an alternative. So he
That's true.
sacked the land to exile a single token.
Yeah, that's a horrible trade here.
Attacking for 4,
8.
making him...
Attacking
Yeah,
for
with 4.
with 4 4 8, yeah.
Then,
So Savage Blessed Alliance going to gain 4 and sack him a token, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. So Lars goes up to 24 and then down to
16.
16, yeah. 18. Because it goes up to 24
Oh, yeah.
-6, so it goes down to 18. Yeah, it's not what you want to be doing, but
So, 3-turn clock.
yeah.
Lars has 3 turns to draw action.
A Reflector Mage is
Still
very good
the
here.
best answer.
Yeah. Like, Stijn is presenting a 3-turn clock, but if Lars just has a Reflector Mage,
Avacyn would be
Avacyn would be also
a
very good.
blowout.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Killing a token and providing a faster clock.
Yeah. Yeah, Avacyn can actually outrace the tokens.
Even
whereas a Reflector
Gideon
Mage could. Yeah, Gideon would be also very
Gideon,
good.
provides enough.
Yeah.
Stijn choosing to search out his swamp here.
Yeah.
Probably just to keep the options open.
Yeah, just in case he gets Radiant Flames and needs it at 3, he can go for it. Don't think it's gonna be relevant, since I don't think anything Lars is gonna be doing is gonna be play a bunch of X3s.
Yeah.
Lars goes down to 6, goes down 6 to 12. Tormenting Voice. Stijn, look at some more cards. Another Tormenting Voice, I think. And is that a rise? No, it's poured over the pages. Do you know how to write it now?
Yes, man.
Okay. So there's a pour. So,
There's a pore. I can see your pores.
so draw 3. Untap some land. So you can go another Tormenting Voice if he wants to. Or
Imagine,
tutelage.
imagine how crazy these couple of turns would have been
If
he
tutelage
had
had
a
been on the play,
tutelage
yeah.
already.
That would have been insane. I'm still not certain whether the blue-red version playing tutelage is better than the black-blue version playing just rise.
Jongens, merci voor het toernooi.
Ja, dat zal iets.
Het was
Misschien te
aangenaam,
spelen.
dit laatste ronde. Dat was een stomme ronde. Ik wil meer.
Right, so.
I don't think committing mana even to the tutelage here is necessary.
No, probably not.
He's already winning
Yeah,
off the rise.
but on the other hand, Lars is only going to be trying to stop the zombies. So tutelage.
Yeah, that's
So
free
advancing
reign.
the tutelage win con, yeah. Like there's draw 2.
Take inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the Avacyn.
Yep. And I don't think Lars is gonna get out of this here.
He still has a top deck.
What is he gonna top deck though?
Reflector Mage. That's enough to survive the zombies.
Yeah, for going to survive the zombies, but he's also facing off a tutelage with like a huge grip. And
Oh.
yeah, this is bad.
Oh.
This is very bad.
Oh, gets the triple double trigger.
Yeah, and there's
And
also
two
two reflector mages in
reflector
there.
mages in
Yeah,
there.
see what I mean? Like reflector mage could come down, but then there are like 20 cards left in his library, so
Oh,
another take inventory.
it's still
Yeah.
there.
So that means he's gonna draw 3 more cards, which means Lars is gonna mill at least 6 more cards.
And
Go
with
down
his
to,
luck
like,
lately,
14,
it'll be
yeah.
like 25 cards.
Yeah, you'll just
Making it uneven
it'll-
even though it's impossible.
it'll probably be lethal with Lars's luck.
No, he has enough lands not to be lethal.
Oh, okay. But it's probably going to hit the last reflector mage with his luck.
Ah, okay.
Not mathematically, but with Lars's luck, probably. Alright, so I'm not quite sure what Lars is doing here.
Counting out his graveyard
okay.
to see which answers he can still
Yeah.
draw.
Fair enough. Wondering whether it might be better
Oh,
to
4 reflector mages are already in the
Oh,
graveyard.
okay, yeah. I'm not sure why you negate here.
The take inventory?
I mean, it was gonna cost... It was gonna draw a lot of cards for Stijn, but...
The thing is, Stijn's deck draws into draw spells.
Yeah, true.
So by doing this, if this was the last draw spell in Stijn's hand, this might have stopped the chain.
That's true, but Stijn has like 3 cards in hand. And
Still, you're in desperation mode anyway here.
It's true, but now he can't probably protect something like Ojutai, which stops the onslaught of zombies.
Ojutai doesn't need a lot of protection.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
mean, he's on a blocking service, which means he'll have...
Hexproof most of the time.
yeah. Huh? Where'd he go? Ah, here.
Right, so there he is. Big boy Ojutai. That's a big boy. And there's a draw for the turn.
It's already pour
It's
over
four
the
of the pages.
pages.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, okay, so no hits. No hits there, but Stijn. Is he still trying to decide what to discard, or? Yeah. So untapping his lands. And the discard is going to be Evolving Wilds, I assume. Yeah. Yeah, it is the Evolving Wilds. So another tutelage? He could just go for the mill kill. If he has the draw spells here. His land.
Yeah, we can't forget that Stijn is at only 7 life
Yeah,
as well.
True,
So
true.
Lars doesn't have any pump-like capabilities, but if he gets to do an attack
Does he
here,
play Thunderclap with her?
no.
Okay.
So if he can do an attack here, has a jump blocker to survive the next attack,
Yeah.
and has a library to draw from next turn,
Yeah.
that's a lot of ifs, then that
I
is
think
his
it's
way
wrong
to
for
victory.
Stijn to not attack here with 3 zombies. Since you're putting him at 2, leaving yourself with 2 tokens,
Yeah.
but it makes your fiery, I don't know, your fiery tempers, if you play them, it makes them lethal.
Fiery Temper, yeah, Fiery Temper.
Fiery temper
I
was
think
lethal.
he has them, yeah.
Yeah, And he also needs a second blocker or a removal spell for your second zombie. And it's much less likely that he's going to attack with Ojutai.
Yep, true.
So I don't agree with keeping them back here. Unless you're afraid of something like Blessed Alliance, killing another token. That would be...
Okay, but will
kind
the
of
zombies
bad.
help you not die?
Yeah, exactly.
In the meantime,
exactly.
no. Their only function is to
Yeah,
pressure your opponent
True.
at this point. I mean,
so
the likelihood of him having some 3-point burn spells in his hand are about 99.3%.
Fiery Temper does not go face. Fiery Impulse does not go face.
It doesn't
so.
need to go face, it needs to go the creature that these
Oh,
zombies
yeah, yeah.
should be
Sure.
blocking.
Okay, fair. Fair. I think there's a comment in the chat. You can't see it because of the... Oh, no, never mind. Never mind.
You were seeing things, lad.
No, I was seeing this text.
Unberecht sturen?
Yeah.
Ah, yes, that one.
Right, so Lars trying to figure out which part of his deck is not in this graveyard yet. Probably figure out the probabilities of just dying next turn. Gonna give you a hint. It's pretty high.
I think he's considering whether he should attack or not. Because that...
That is actually relevant math, whether or not he gets to...
But
Any
he's,
other, no. The other semifinals has not yet had a game end, to our knowledge.
so, Michiel... Ian?
Michiel versus Ian, yeah.
Ian is still in game 1 as well.
You should have had the updated bracket as well. With both semifinals on there.
You mean this one?
No, both semifinals are on there.
Let's update that one.
Yep, right there.
Updated bracket. There we go. You get the card back. And we will change this around.
Right, I'm gonna leave commentary for a bit. I'm gonna go eat something. I will be right back.
Is die vrij en lui?
Eigenlijk ben ik ook niet nieuws.
Mm-hmm.
Ik ga geen commentaar over doen. Wat? Ik ga geen commentaar over doen.
Okay, so we've lost Sander for a while for dinner duties. I hope he eats fast so I can have my dinner break as well. Jullie wel een beetje verder gaan. Ja. So, back to the match. Back to the match. Lars decided to attack Stijn with the Ojutai, drawing the 3 cards, and now will need to play at least a chum blocker for one of the zombies or flat out dies. He gets the Whirler Rogue, which is even better. 3 jump blockers in 1, gets to kill off 2 zombies if he wants as well. And now Stijn Gogaert either has to mill out Lars completely. Okay, Michiel van den Bussen has won game 1 in the other semifinals. So Michiel van den Bussen 1 game up in the other semifinals.
Dat zal fucking kak zijn, zo'n Meeussen die dat we tegenkomen blijkt zo een met superveel explosieven te zijn.
We had 1 trigger resolve on Lars. There was no repeats on that. And Lars scoops them up as he knows that even activating the ability on one of the Sphinx's tutelages would be enough to finish him off. A very exciting game here that ended, well, exactly the turn it needed to end for Stijn. It's something that seems to happen from time to time where a match against this deck ends in a race of damage versus destroying your deck, and we end it here. So again, for you people, this is the current bracket. We see Michiel van der Bussen versus Ian Ede in the other match. Currently Michiel van der Bussen with his blue-green emerge deck is in the lead there against Ian Ede's black-green splash everything aristocrats, and here we have Lars Meeussen on blue-white tempo against Stijn Gogaert's blue-red Rise Sphinx tutelage hybrid deck on 1 and 0 for the tutelage deck. Players are currently sideboarding. Unfortunately, we do not have the deck lists available to us as the players have them, because one of the players, Jelle Slink, was actually in coverage and got to see the deck list. We decided to equalize this opportunity for all the other players, just to keep it fair, of course. Ja, het zijn notes. Graag. So, while we wait for sideboarding, we have Tom van der Velde.
Losers interview.
Losers interview. Well, so let's start off with that. How was the rematch?
It was really interesting. It was a little bit unfortunate that I had to mulligan to 5 in the first game, and it was basically a non-game.
Oh, that's too bad.
Second game was, I guess, more or less what I expected from the matchup. And
because you won it.
Yeah, because I won. So actually an interesting discussion. I thought that the matchup was relatively even and maybe even post-board in my favor, because I have a lot of early removal for his the things he wants to sack to his emerge creatures.
Yeah. So you kill his tempo by not letting him emerge.
Yeah, exactly. So my plan was basically to kill his early creatures, and if he doesn't have an early creature, all of his emerge stuff is caught in his hands, and he basically can't do anything.
Yeah.
Which is what happened in game 2. And in game 3, I was on the same plan. It was actually working fine, but he needed to have a creature every turn, and he did. And then he needed to top deck a land to get the Lashweed Lurker. I didn't know that he had to top deck it there, I think, but because I did know that he had to top deck it. So he had to top deck the land for a Lashweed Lurker on my Liliana, which was going to ultimate, and he can never win through the ultimate. I think that's almost impossible. Yeah. So that was basically my plan. So I used my removal really aggressively. But he did have the Lashweed Lurker, which got him back into the game, and then in the end game, I guess the Kozilek's return play was also really huge. So although I would have played it in a different sequence, I think, but it worked out for him. So
yeah, of course we didn't see any of the match on camera here.
Oh yeah, right. You didn't see the match. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry viewers. Sorry.
So
viewers.
To explain, Michiel is playing a blue-green emerge deck with a splashed Kozilek's return, which is, to be honest, a lot of people here were brewing with emerge. We've seen a few people trying it in a black-green shell more, like a hybrid Nantuku Husk emerge deck. We've seen a few people go blue-green, but for me this was the first time that I saw Lashweed actually used in the deck list.
Didn't Sander de Kank use he was. I don't actually think he played a game with it, but you can find it on our YouTube channel. So if you look up, so product placement. If you
shameless plugging.
If you look up Wrecking Ball MTG on YouTube, you'll find a Gentry versus video where I play Sander de Kank, and he's actually playing a green-blue emerge deck, which was really similar to what Michiel is playing right now. It's a really decent deck, I think.
Yep.
Gets a lot of value. So yeah, it was a really close last game, but unfortunately I lost. So yeah.
Okay. We're still not into the game, so another question. Michiel van der Bussen is sort of a community leader, builder in Sint Niklaas. He is pushing Gentry there a little bit as well. How much do you think having isolated meta games develop have an impact? Because I was writing one of the articles, sideboarding for Gentry, and one of the things I did was just scroll through every common in standard right now, and there were so many commons where I went like, wow, this is really impactful, and there's no deck that is playing this, and I had this repeatedly, and I'm curious to see what having isolated groups will cause. Like, we have groups that have been testing and decide, well, obviously green-white Planeswalker control is the best deck, and the other group going like, no, black-green aristocrats stays on top. So what's your take on that?
That's actually a really interesting question, and I think it's a really hard one to answer. I think probably the best way to find out what the best deck in a format is to have a larger group. So I think in the Gent metagame where you have more players, you're probably more likely to actually get a lot of people playing different decks, which means that all of the possibilities that are out there will probably see play at one point or another, and then I guess they get picked up. What is also relevant, of course, is the skill level of the people playing the decks, because we noticed in testing that sometimes we actually tested a lot for this event with several league regulars, and what you would see is that depending on the skill level, you would sometimes see matchups flip where we thought they were actually favorable, and then when someone else played it, it was actually unfavorable, and so on. So that also actually is a
So in the meantime, the chat picked in on our discussion on having different groups developing decks. First, because I mentioned scrolling through the commons, you have to build a Gentry deck on the uncommons. That's true for the main deck, definitely. I was looking at sideboard cards, and because you put most of your uncommons in the main deck, for sideboard cards it's obvious to look at the commons. So that's why that's comment was there. And then they actually built a gauntlet of approximately 10 decks that we assumed they'd see. So they probably did the same exercise that you guys were doing.
Who is Downboats? Maybe he was on our testing team. Because the decks seem quite the same, so I guess.
I think Downboats is on the Sint Niklaas team.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting. Okay, can you list the decks that you actually tested for the event? Because that would be interesting to see. T-Merge beat everything.
Okay, but in the meantime we have other priorities, so we'll get back to the question and the meta game. But in the meantime, we have a very slow developing game from Blue White Tempo, not playing a 3-drop even. He has the Spell Queller available to him, but chose not to play it on that Tormenting Voice.
That would have actually been an interesting play, because he still has to discard because it's part of the cost, so that's actually a lot of card disadvantage. And he would he have to discard again if he replays it off the Spell Queller, if the Spell Queller dies? That's an interesting rules question. Okay, so Lars is playing Whirler Road here.
Yes, you still have to pay the additional cost.
So that would have actually been a very good. I think Lars's reasoning here is probably that he wants to keep it for a tutelage, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Which isn't unreasonable, I think. On the other hand, like the fact that he doesn't have a 3-drop there isn't that surprising, because I would assume that he sides out Reflector Mages in this matchup. Because they're basically a 2-power creature for 3 mana, which isn't very, normally Reflector Mage is really very good for tempo, but in this case, 2 trees for 3 men are not great when you're trying to be aggressive.
So we have galvanic bombardment to targeting the Whirler Rogue.
Yeah, and Lars is contemplating here, which must be a tell for Stijn, unless I mean it's
and he lets it resolve. But there's a lot of control elements. Oh, he is playing Thunderclap Wyvern.
So he changed his original list. That's
So
actually
Thunderclap
really good in this matchup.
Thunderclap Wyvern gives all flying creatures.
Yeah, so he now has 6 power on the board. Thunderclap Wyvern really good in this matchup, I think, because it also breaks up the Savage Alliance and Boiling Earth, which is very good against the deck. It takes away Sky Spawners and the Topter tokens, but now that doesn't work anymore. I guess if Stijn plays it correctly, he can still Savage Alliance for 4, kill the Thunderclap Wyvern, deal 1 to all the creatures, and then they still die. So that's still a play that's a possibility for Stijn.
How insane is Savage Alliance in this format?
I actually, I thought I've been playing main deck Boiling Earth in these kinds of decks for a long time, and when Savage Alliance came out, I was like, whoa, this is a major improvement. It's a little bit unfortunate, of course, that it takes an uncommon slot, but it's actually really good.
Oh, Nimpo, you're the Reddit user that sent me a message because you were interested in the format, right? Welcome, glad you found your way to the stream. You're watching one of the semi-final matches right now.
Meanwhile, Lars seems to be flooding out a little bit. He has 7 lands in play, which is more than I think he would want here.
It's the second Galvanic Bombardment, so this one goes for 3 damage.
And here's the Dispel.
Yeah, Dispel. So Lars in his sideboard gets access to Dispels, Negates, and I think even a Spell Shrivel.
Yeah. A lot of counters. It's one of the major upsides of the blue-white tempo deck, that it has a very good counter game after sideboard. And we can see here that Stijn is already down to 4.
And the Philidar Cup, a mainstay in all white sideboards, pretty much. People have been conditioned to tutelage. It's sort of the dredge of our format. You have the sideboard slots for it, or you lose against it.
And one interesting thing to note that maybe people will not recognize at first is one of the reasons why, for instance, I play Caustic Caterpillar in my sideboard and Lars plays Felidar Cup, is because the tutelage decks always side in Negate. And when they side in Negate, you don't want to put in enchantment removal that is an instant or sorcery, so you want to have a creature.
Okay, in the meantime, Stijn got Radiant Flames to sweep the entire board, barring the Thunderclap Wyvern.
Didn't Lars have a spell color? Why? Oh, he's going to flash it in end of turn and attack that way?
Yeah, he gets the kill.
Oh, that's interesting. But
so
I still would have countered the Radiant Flames, because if he casts it again off the Spellcrawler, if he kills the Spellcrawler, then the Radiant Flames is for 0. Yeah. So I think it's definitely...
On the other hand, now he protects the Thunderclap from follow-up.
Yeah, but he doesn't have lethal now, and he would have had lethal otherwise.
No, I would have still played it end of turn.
Oh yeah.
I would have waited for Stijn to play probably Fiery Temper to finish off the Thunderclap, and then use the spell color on that. If he doesn't play it at end of turn.
Yeah, that's also, I guess that's also
to go for lethal. But now he puts Stijn on 2, and the spell queller gives him pretty much a guaranteed lethal attack to finish the game, and then game 3.
So Stijn playing Pour Over the Pages here. I'm guessing he's looking for something like Fiery Temper here. And
scoops him up. So, scores even out at 1-1. We go. Players going back to their sideboards. Let's have another look at what this bracket looks like. So we have Lars Meeussen playing against Stijn Gogaert on the cam right now. Lars already beat Peter Steenbeke. We missed him on coverage so far. So do you
Peter
have
didn't appear on coverage.
No.
He played an interesting deck actually that I hadn't tested myself, and I test quite a lot of decks for this format. He was playing a red-white double strike deck.
the equipment?
No, not with equipment. So
Oh.
it's actually kind of interesting. He was playing the 2/2 double striker for 3 from Origins, and then
The
Avon's.
hoplites,
Yeah,
no?
I don't remember the name, but and then he was also playing Avon Sunstriker, which is the 1/1 double strike for 3 mana with flying.
It's the one that transforms? No.
With Megamorph, it has Megamorph.
Ah,
so
no.
you can Megamorph it into a 2/2.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and then he had a few just regular aggressive creatures, and then he also had stuff that would give +3/+1 and trample, for instance, like Brute Force, I think it's called, or Brute Strength, Brute Force, I think it is.
Yeah.
So he basically had like the Become Immense Battle Rage combo that we used to play in previous Gentry standard.
Yep.
He basically had something like that. Brute Strength. He basically had that built into his deck. So I think for him, he was hoping to play against decks like Nantuko Husk, which don't have a lot of main deck interaction. Because if he plays against decks with a lot of instant speed removal, like for instance Stains here, the tutelage decks, the Rise decks, I think that has
That's
to be
a
a
nightmare.
ridiculously bad matchup. But I think if he plays decks that don't play a lot of interaction, he probably he has to be one of the fastest decks in the format. So
Yeah.
it's actually, I thought it was an interesting build.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the game. We're on game 3 right now. Lars is on the play since Stijn won game 2, and I think
Lars won game 2, right?
Lars won game. Yeah, I'm backwards. Sander is going to take over for the last game, so I can get lunch.
Oh,
if you want to
okay.
stay, feel free.
I'll stay. I think I can handle Sander. I'll try.
The comfortable chair.
Yeah, I seem to be really small. Like Nils
You can put it up.
Nils and Sander are bigger than I am, but
Yeah.
not that much bigger.
That seat was for me,
that's
on my
better.
size. Alright, so opening with the Trade Inspector.
We
My
have
favorite opening.
We have Stijn opening on 2 mountains, which might indicate that he doesn't have a blue source here.
Which would be
Or he
pretty-
might be
pretty bad.
feigning that he doesn't have a
Yeah.
blue source. It's also possible. Lars probably looking to crack a clue end of turn, which is because the deck doesn't play a lot of 2-drops.
Yeah.
That's a very regular occurrence.
So who started this game? Was it Stan or Lars?
Stijn is on the play.
Alright.
And Stijn playing his one
there's a
swamp,
swamp.
so I'm guessing that means that he really doesn't have
Yeah.
blue mana,
I assume he
because
doesn't have blue.
he would probably keep that a secret if he could.
Yeah.
Playing the swamp, of course, for Radiant Flames to be able to play it for 3.
That's the conclusion we came to last time he was on stream as well.
Yeah,
That it was for Radiant Flames. Right, so he finds blue.
we have take inventory for 1 here.
Excuse me. Yeah, take inventory for 1. Trying to get the second blue source probably.
Yeah, he must have a pretty slow hand here because he hasn't played any other draw spells, so I'm guessing he probably has like Pour Over the Pages in his hand.
Yeah, that would make sense.
There's also a possibility that he's not playing tutelage into negate here, because Lars has had negate mana up all game. So
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Lars does
Lars
have the cup
actually
in
have
hand.
2 negates in hand.
Yeah, 2 negates and the Flooded Dark Cup, so
Trying to say this really not too loud
Yeah.
so they don't hear us.
it's alright. It shouldn't be. Shouldn't drag over too far. Alright, so he
So Lars
still has open negate mana.
Lars making the tricky play. He has negate mana with the Scion
Yeah.
here.
I don't think with Lars's hand that Stan is going to be able to do any kind of tutelage game plan.
No, this is going to be interesting. So
Yeah.
Stijn is going to have to, especially with only 1 blue mana, he can't go for tutelage with negate backup.
Yeah.
So he's in quite a pickle here. This At the moment,
This
it
could be
looks like
difficult.
this is going Lars' way.
Yeah, that is putting him to 13 now.
And does Lars have? He has 2 blue sources. Okay, so
Yeah, that is 2 blue and 3 white, so Lars' colors are
he can
totally fine.
So he can even afford, yeah, and that's what he's
Yeah.
doing here. He can afford to just attack for 5 every turn here and keep up 2 negates. This game is going to be really difficult for
Stijn to win. Yeah, he's gonna need a lot of removal here. Although Savage Alliance is
yeah, but
huge
he's
on this
going
board.
to counter it. So
yeah, true.
I think as long as Lars doesn't make the mistake to counter like a galvanic bombardment on the sky spawner or something, he
Yeah.
should be golden for this game.
True.
Michiel wins win.
Right, then we have an update from the back table. Michiel has won over Ian by 2-0. So Michiel is our first finalist of the 2016 September finals.
So congratulations to Michiel.
Yep.
So we're going to be able to see his emerge deck in the finals.
Yeah.
And this is, I wouldn't have made this play.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
pretty
that's
risky.
a risky play here. He's in such a comfortable position.
Yeah, so there's a
Yeah,
Savage
so
Alliance.
now he has to.
And
Now he has to counter,
Stijn
and then
could
Stijn
have
can untap.
Dispel back. Could have this Dispel backup as well. Okay,
Also,
no.
yeah,
He
that's
taps out. He taps the blue, so he doesn't have the Dispel backup. But he might have the Fiery Impulse just to kill
Yeah.
the Felidar Cup.
that's true.
So I think Lars has to play the gate.
Yeah, he has to.
There's
he
no
has
way you let that blowout happen. And Stijn just untaps.
So Stijn untaps, and if he has a sweeper here, it's major. And I think
Yeah,
he did.
he-
Oh, he has
Again!
Chandra. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lars-
Chandra loves her
but
camera time.
Lars could have avoided this play.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit unfortunate, but
Yeah, you're right.
he should have
not
played
opt
a
out for the
little,
cup.
little bit less risky, I think.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
now Stijn is
and
control the board with still 13 life left.
Yeah, and we know that it's very difficult for Lars to get rid of
To
a
deal with the
planeswalker
planeswalker,
here.
yeah.
He has no creatures on board, and Stijn, we know that Stijn has to have a
Of
removal
course,
in hand here.
the entire
so
deck is about removal, so it's gonna be very hard.
yeah.
I guess Gideon from Lars' side could deal with Chandra, since Stijn doesn't really have a clean way of getting rid of
Well,
both Gideon and his token.
Yeah, but that's not true, I think, because then not if he has removal, because then he can just remove the token and attack the Gideon with the Chandra. So that's
Yeah,
actually
true,
not
true. Warlord Rogue is okay.
So-
Stijn,
Stijn looking for more
yeah,
removal
more draws.
here,
Another take
I'm
inventory
guessing.
here.
So this isn't take inventory for 2 because he has 1 in the graveyard.
So it's already better than a divination.
Found another lance, so now his blue mana is flowing.
Yeah, things are looking pretty good for Stijn now.
Okay, here's a galvanic bombardment on the Whirlwind, which Lars lets resolve.
Yeah, so it kills the Warlord Rogue. Lars has 2 top tiers which get taken out by Chandra. And Stijn still firmly in control of the board here. Cracks the clue on the turn. To surprise of no one.
So I think what Lars is really looking for here is
Avison?
Avison or
Yeah.
another flash flyer, like if he
Yeah.
has the Thunderclap
He
Wyvern,
isn't-
which
he doesn't play
he
those.
is,
Is he playing those?
because he played one in the last game.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's what he is looking for here,
Yeah,
because the
that's an
Chandra is
Ojita.
at 1, so he.
That's actually not bad either. Ojita.
Ojita is great here.
Yeah.
That's actually really good, especially with the negate backup.
Does choose not to play it. Oh, he doesn't have the mana. Okay, so puts more 1/1s on the board, more 1 toughness creatures on the board.
No, the Tribune Inspector is actually 2 toughness,
Yeah,
which
I know.
is
But-
relevant here, I guess.
I
So
guess.
Stijn has to decide here if he wants to let his Chandra go and kill the Sky Spawner, or
He's not
if
gonna go for
he's
it.
going to
Yeah,
plus
he's
it.
just gonna plus it, send 2 3/1s to Lars, who's probably just gonna take it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't see a reason to not take
Very
it.
little reason for him not to take it
Yeah.
here.
Stijn isn't just gonna come out and shoot you down from 14. Not even close.
So curious to see what the follow-up
Was,
play
you
here
was
is.
even
Thanks. Meanwhile, I'm
Got a
getting
double
my
comp too,
food.
but, She's study beautiful. And there's a Radiant Flames. That's actually
That's
pretty
really
good.
here because now he gets to keep his Chandra
Yeah.
and
It's
he's
good.
slowly but surely getting.
But
Lars
Lars still has the
4
Ojitai.
cards.
So I'm not sure whether Stijn plays creatures spell counters.
But he can let Lars attack with the Ojitai and then try to kill it. So if he
Yeah.
has he has the third Galvanic Bombardment, or is it the second
It's
one?
the second one. There's only one been played, I think. Unless there was one discarded to do something.
I can't see what the second card in the graveyard is, but if he has two,
It doesn't look like a
if he
Galvanic
has
Bombardment.
two in his graveyard, then
Yeah.
he can actually kill the Ojitai for 1 mana here.
Yeah, that would be insane. I'm not sure whether you want to be attacking with Ojitai at this point. I mean, you want to clear Chandra.
You would definitely want to.
Yeah.
You definitely want to
You
block
need to.
one, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, on the other hand,
Oh, and then he can Chandra on -1. Yeah, no, he actually no, he can't block here. It's
I mean, he
perfectly
can block
fine.
because Chandra plussed. She can't minus again because she
Oh
already
yeah,
plus
that's,
tokens.
that's right.
But he could have-
should definitely
He could have
blocked
like Boiling Orb, but I don't think it's right playing around that.
Or oh
I
no,
think
he
you have to
could,
block
he could
him.
actually have Savage Alliance there. So,
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Savage
actually I
Alliance
like
would
it.
have
I
been
like
nice.
it.
Yeah,
It's
fair,
a good
fair.
good play, Lars. Good play.
That's the wrong one. There we go. Taking a look at Ojitai here.
So
So
I'm curious
if he deals combat damage to a player, he gets to anticipate, but not if you kill
not
Chandra.
if he kills Chandra.
So you're gonna go for Chandra, but
Yeah, he has to.
Stan could just have the removal to kill him here. And that's a,
Oh
is that a Santa Sleep?
no, that's
It's just a wind?
spontaneous
Oh,
mutation.
spontaneous mutation.
Which will
that-
give it -5, -0, so it will basically just make Ojitai an 0-4.
Wow. That's bad.
Spontaneous mutation is Stain's innovation to the deck. He plays it in the sideboard, I
Yeah.
believe. And
Oh, wow.
I heard from Nicolas and Stain that it's actually very good.
Yeah, it seems like it. So Ojitai not going to be attacking anytime soon.
Mhm.
But he is still a blocker, so
Yeah, it's a blocker, but
Stan might just want to kill it since. Oh. So camera is rocking for some reason. The Validar Cup can just.
yeah, but it's not a big problem.
No.
From here, actually,
Yeah, it's-
Stain can start plussing the Chandra and
Yeah,
just try to attack Lars to death. So
Yeah. I mean, it's, if Stan pluses the Chandra and just swings for 6, Lars can untap Ojitai,
yeah,
attack with Ojitai, and get the equipment off of it with the Validar Cup.
oh, that's actually true.
And it's a Gideon as well. Gideon gets
And here's
negated,
a negates.
but it makes the attack with Ojitai for the next turn maybe a bit better.
Does Lars still have cards in hand? He doesn't.
I don't think Lars has any cards in hand. No,
Oh, then-
no hand.
Okay.
So I think
Then
just block a Chandra token, sack the cup, destroy the enchantment, I guess.
I think he has to try and surprise Stain. I think he has to try and surprise Stain with the Validar Cup on the spontaneous mutation. It's actually
Mhm.
not like a really natural play, so I'm guessing that Stain will catch it, but
Yeah.
it's possible that he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, we are already playing for 7 hours now, so
Yeah, that's true. It gets
fatigue
to-
might get to kick in.
So if Lars doesn't have any cards left in hand, I think I might have misseen when I said he had 2 negates. It's possible that he only had
Yeah.
1.
I think it was a Whirler Rogue. Maybe next
Yeah,
week.
maybe it
Yeah.
was a Whirler Rogue.
Those arts are
And
pretty
that,
similar.
that would change all the plays he made.
Yeah.
So then I'm in agreement with the way he played.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. So, Stan trying to figure out how he gets the win here. So
Yeah,
going to
he-
plus Chandra? No,
no,
minus
he's actually
2.
going to -2.
So he's
That's
gonna
a really
force.
weird
He's gonna
play.
force Lars's hand to sack the cup,
And now he's going
and
to
then he's
kill
gonna
it.
Galvanic Bombardment. So yeah,
So
because the Galvanic Bombardment is lethal now because of the Chandra -2.
Yeah,
that's-
that's really well played.
Yeah,
by
that's
Stan.
that's a nice line. Not the line I had seen. So now next Galvanic Bombardments also deal 4 damage, so they get to kill. Does Lars play anything else with 4 toughness that isn't Avacyn?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No, I don't
it
think so.
doesn't really matter. But again, Lars just living off the top of his deck against the Chandra on only 8 life. This could be just lethal.
This is. I don't think this is going to take long. Yeah,
Fiery Temper could just be lethal here.
No response, so he has to hope that he has a flash flyer here, and if he doesn't, I think the game is just over.
Stijn just Tormenting Voice, looking for anything to point at Lars's face, I think.
Yeah, or possibly removal for a flash creature, or
so just to land.
He doesn't even need like a negate. If he can just keep the Chandra and play, this game is over.
So Lars has the.
Yeah, he's going to play the token free blade.
But that doesn't really do anything.
That doesn't do anything, but he's just going to try and trick Stijn into not plussing the Chandra, I think.
I think even... I don't think there's... Well, if Lars has Avacyn in hand...
Yeah, but that would actually be a cool play, but I think he would have played it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way you don't play Avacyn.
So it's over.
Alright, so that's the game. So, Lars